Sheps has just informed me. He's just gone to the toilet now. He's just informed me that he kind of has a thing for Monica Rambeau. Completely news to me, but maybe you guys have seen it. Or you can let me know if there's something in the comment section. But apparently, he's kind of got the hots for her. Don't know where that's come from, honestly. What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to StreamCast, the show where we watch the latest and greatest streaming shows and movies with you guys. I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the Monica Rambeau simp himself, Sheps. Right. How's it going, bro?
It's going great because I found a couple. I think I found Monica going damn with the afro, so I can actually die happy now.
Lovely, guys. All of those people that were sending in those gifts, you've made him happy.
Yes, Thank you so and much I also found some sick edit of her. Basically, I'm very happy I found Monica edit, so I'm good. That's good to hear.
How are you? I'm doing great. This last episode was, again, another really good one.
Really good.
I feel like on the tier it might be like on like the list of all the episodes, maybe a half step down.
The problem is, we're on episode 6, right?
6.
5 was just packed. 5 was packed. 4, 5, and 6 have been the best so far. I think that's like probably fair to say. Mm-hmm. And I think it probably goes like 5 just because there's so much in it. 4, 6, like it's not bad by any means. Every single one has been great.
Yes,
but it's just like the greatness.
Yeah, there's different levels of greatness. It's like this one's great for so many things. Right. The vision stuff. There's like so many questions you want to ask.
Can we just say
the
Paul
Pietro
Bettany?
Stuff? Oh yes.
How good is his performance? He's don't get me wrong, like, we always knew he was great. Mm-hmm. I mean, I always thought it was funny that they got an actor that talented to play voice in suit.
You know, like this guy, this really cool guy. He's gonna have a great. Man, you're a voice.
Yeah,
and then
and he's so good. He's so good. So I mean, it's a brilliant show. It's been pulled off brilliantly.
And crucially, I love that it's week to week. There was one journalist recently I posted on Twitter. It's like, I hate the fact that WandaVision isn't bingeable.
A bad take.
And it's like,
I've got something to look forward to.
Right? And these conversations, I'm sure all the Streamcast fans, obviously the flagship of the FPN, you guys should subscribe.
This is the flagship show. I will say, as a viewer, I kind of wish it was bi-weekly, so we would get like a Monday, Thursday kind of thing.
Okay, all right.
But as content creators, we don't have the time, so I'm glad it's weekly. I'm really glad it's weekly.
I don't need to see my family. We could do this bi-weekly.
Also, I don't think the guys want to watch a 7-hour recap of the whole season with Tyler. With you, do you know what I mean? Like,
they don't usually. Some of the guys don't know our usual thing. Usually, when we do a review of something like a movie, we go the length of the movie plus tax.
Yeah, plus tax.
So
go on.
It would be the whole season, 8 hours, something like that.
Plus tax.
Plus tax on top of that. That would be a great Streamcast. Anyway, guys, this is episode 6 of Streamcast.
That's right.
Before we jump into it, though.
That's right. This Streamcast, the flagship show on the FPN.
Yes.
Along with all of our content on our channel as well, on Comboplations, is sponsored by the incredible Super Bros over on patreon.com/Conversations. It's weird to have one hand like under the desk, so it was like patreon.com/Conversations. Who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Cumsock, Carol to Rivier, AK Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan the Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master H Barts 12, the Major Aloy from Smallville Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself Albie Scorry, Super Sus Ben Fryer, and the Star Wars Encyclopedia Adam Sunling. Thank you, bros, so much for keeping the lights, the mics on, and the movies, the streaming shows going here at StreamCast and all of our stuff on Conversations and stuff like that. Thank you guys so much.
Interesting note, before we get too far into it, one more quick show. Obviously, we do have the greatest Discord on the internet, the Conversations Discord, which please feel free to join after I've culled every Diogo on it. Somehow, Diogo has infected the entire server. Everybody changed their name. Boys, I know you're watching. I hate all of you. You're all getting banned. Every single one of you. And once we've cleaned up, and this was my only solution, you might say the final solution.
Yes.
Please feel free to join.
After the Great Purge, you can come back.
That's
Don't
right.
worry about it.
That's right.
I was so surprised because I saw it on Twitter. Saw someone post a picture of it. I think it might have been Ben Fryer. And I was like, that would be really funny. Maybe I should tweet out and say, I want an invite to the Diogo server. It was our server.
Our server.
I was like, what the?
I freaking hate these guys.
I went into it and I was like, what's happening
I
here?
hate these guys. I hate them.
It's going to get interesting when we read out comments when all of them are from Diogo.
Yeah, I think they did it for that reason. Because I think on the last episode we said, I always have to click someone's name to find out who they are because they changed names.
They did this on purpose.
Frick these guys. So, episode 6.
Episode 6, all new Halloween Spooktacular, it was called here. It starts off with a very cool homage to Malcolm in the Middle.
Mate, I freaking loved Malcolm in the Middle.
I forgot all about it until I saw it. I was like, this is so familiar.
Yeah.
Malcolm in the Middle.
It's maybe if you can see, it says right there, Malcolm in the Middle. Referring back to my notes, obviously the most important stuff is right here.
Yes, I heard there was some interesting stuff on your notes. Through the comments, I didn't see. But
there is, obviously I'm a detailed note taker. I pay a lot of attention to the important things in the show.
Right.
Anyway, I love Malcolm in the Middle.
Yeah,
it was a great show. It was so good.
It was so unique. It was so like that time. There's nothing. And before Bryan Cranston was the
Walter White, yeah,
exactly. Before he was that kind of guy, it was this
a
nervous husband kind of thing.
Did you know there's a fan theory that that's Walter White and he's been like relocated and that's his like. It's obviously but how cool is that to watch? It's like, he's playing. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyway, wrong show.
Yes. And the kids are excited because it's Halloween.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's Halloween. It's all about like spookiness. And one of the kids, was it Tommy, I think it was like, actually, it's all about candy and whatnot.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. Cause,
he's the cool twin.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he goes, what are you dressed as? I'm dressed as the cool twin. It's like, wait, what does that make me? Billy goes, it's like, they're not cool twin. Such a brother thing to say.
And then very much like sort of Malcolm in the Middle, they wake up like the older brother character.
They really do see him as the cool uncle in this. They even say, they're like, oh my god, even Snore's cool. And I'm like, so cool out there. And then they wake him up, he scares him. They do a run around the house and stuff like that.
And then Wanda comes down in her, what was it, a traditional Sokovian...
Fortune teller,
that's right.
It's like they actually go, she goes, Mom, what are you? Are you the, are you the old Riding Hood? And I was like, the disrespect on these.
How dare you?
Get ready to Sheps slap right here.
This woman can literally slap you out of the town.
Exactly. She did it before, trust me.
First of all, I'm going to say this is the only Wanda Maximoff costume that is obviously a trash Wanda Maximoff costume, but goddamn does it look good. Oh,
it looks good.
It might be the talent of the actress, though.
It could be.
It could be that she's obviously not the main character.
There's one, she's not the main character, she's a side character.
Yeah, she's not Monica,
as we know.
But...
Yeah. There was one picture, like later on in the scene, I think when she's in the town square, that got shared on Twitter like mad, of her looking just adorable in that thing. She's just like the pink tights and stuff like that, sitting like that. I was like, okay, she's just really beautiful, okay? That's just what it is. When you're really beautiful, things look good on you, okay?
I feel like being an Olsen stacks the deck for you.
Yeah, come on.
And then just don't get a terrible drug addiction and you're good to go.
You're good to go.
Right.
She just happens to be a fantastic actress as well.
She's brilliant, yeah.
Anyway, so... The Pietro goes is saying to the kids and whatnot, it's like, trying to spur them on and whatnot. It's like, so where did you keep your water balloons? It's like, we don't have any water balloons. Well, where do we put the cream then? It's like really being a bad influence for these kids.
He's supposed to be the good fun, but not like getting in any real trouble Halloween prank. I do want to say there's one thing that they flash back to Wanda and Pietro in Sokovia.
Yes.
Doing the traditional Halloween.
Yes,
I actually laughed out loud.
This year can't be as bad as when we were back in that year. Our mother made our own costumes and sent us back in Sokovia. And did you notice what costumes they were?
No.
So it was Black Widow and Nick Fury.
Oh, really?
One was with an eye patch and the other one was a girl with red hair. And and I was like...
I didn't clock that.
It was just a small thing.
I was just literally laughing out loud that they were given a fish to share.
Yeah. By what looked like a witch.
Yeah.
She had like
Baba Yaga.
Yeah.
Right.
Boils all over her face.
Right.
She's like, here's a fish to share.
And it goes in like the dirty, like...
Potato
sack.
You're looking at it just like... Alright, we're kids, you know that, right?
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, it comes free with maggots. Great.
Oh, nice. Great. What else do they say? Yeah, and apparently they got typhus as well when they were there.
They had typhus, something really like that. And then Viz comes down the steps.
He does.
I'm just gonna come out and say this right now. It's Vision or Viz. There's no the Vision.
Yeah.
This isn't Batman. The Batman works. The Bat, it works.
Yes.
The Viz, no. The Vision, no. He's just Vision. His name is Vision.
Yeah.
It's a mononym. He's like Cher.
I like
not the Cher.
I like the way she says. It's something about it. It's
the way
so
she
small.
says Viz.
When she says Viz, it's like so loving. It's like it's our cute little pet name. Anyway, he comes down. And he's old school Vision. He's just so funny. He's got like the little pretend thing in his head right there.
He says something like, she goes, "Oh, you're just like that." And he goes, "There was nothing else in my wardrobe." And for a minute, you're like, "Oh, it's about to kick off straight away. He's already going to beef him out about being in the show." And then he's like, "You are incorrigible. I know you have a thing for Mexican wrestlers."
Because we can all understand that, right, guys?
I mean,
Mexican wrestlers, like, we all have a thing for them.
I just love his delivery where it's like awkward pause, awkward pause, awkward pause. I know you like wait, what are those guys called? Luchadors. I was going to say conquistador. Totally different thing.
What's a conquistador?
I think those are the Spanish dudes that like murdered their way through when they got there.
Same thing.
Close enough.
Yeah, but
close enough.
Anyway, yeah, it's probably like.
She says something in Spanish and he goes, "Chili con carne."
Yeah, he's like he's not a super robot with the most intelligent like mind ever. He just comes out with like, "I don't know Spanish, chili con carne."
With the accent.
It's so funny. It's so good, and they do seem really, really nice together at that moment.
They have a very similar vibe. You know, we're kind of in the Malcolm in the Middle thing.
Yeah,
they do have a very similar vibe to the way the two parents flirt in that. Where it's like they're both kind of joking, but you can tell they love each other.
Yeah.
But they'll rip into each other if they get the chance. Yeah.
The next bit is Vision goes and says that after he's got dressed and everything, he says, "Well, I'll see you guys later," and he's about to leave. And she's like, "Hold on, you're not supposed to leave." Almost like that's not in the script.
You're scripted to do another event. This is a family event.
And
the
she's
scene
like,
is Vision and Wanda go to the
exactly. She's like, and he's like, "What do you mean?" And it's like, "It's the kid's first Halloween. You have to stay for the kid's
Nice
Halloween."
save, Wanda. Nice save.
He's like, no, like now is the perfect time. It's like I'm the only thing stopping people between trees and toilet paper.
That's right.
I'm on the neighborhood watch. I need to get out there.
These
and
are
stop
serious crimes for someone with Vision's abilities to stop.
Exactly right.
This is Avengers level.
This is Avengers level shit. Well, he doesn't know about them yet, so
he's about to found them.
It's true. He's about to found them.
The Tree Vengers.
Anyway, Wanda realized
I can do better.
I
can do better.
That's awful.
I can do better.
Don't let him live that down. Don't let him live that.
It's all right. I'll show myself out.
Yeah, please. I'll do the rest of the show by myself. Vision then essentially lays down the law and leaves. He does do one thing. I don't know if you noticed this, but as he leaves, he says like goodbye and whatnot. Pietro says like, "I've got the XY chromosome. I can take care of the kids. I can be the father figure." And then he looks at Vision. And he says almost in a serious way, he's like, "Wanda, be good." Kisses her on the cheek.
Also, that's the worst. That was way worse than just like fighting with her.
Right.
You know that scene where they like float up and they're about to fight?
Yeah.
That would have been better than this kiss on the cheek. That was a real dark move. Like, don't ever do that to your cheek. Right. That's painful.
That's a pro-life advice for you guys right there. If you want to live, do not do.
Yeah.
Then we cut to...
There's one final thing, because Pietro runs out and grabs costumes for him and the kids.
Yes, he does.
The rest of his costume is just like a normal, like, crappy, I'm a speedy guy costume. But is his hair super Wolverine-y to anyone else?
Yeah,
it
looks.
He's got like the...
It like goes up like that, yeah.
Anybody else? I don't know if that's like a hint at something. By the way, I'm guessing that's the cameo if it's not Fassbender.
Ooh, we've got some theories. Some people in our comments and whatnot that wrote some other things, which is interesting.
If I could do a good human version of the eyes emoji, it would be now.
If I could,
eyes emoji.
We cut to outside back at the base, at the sword base.
Freaking douche.
Oh yeah, director Douchey McDouche, right?
Yeah.
Is arguing with everyone. Literally, like he didn't just escalate the situation single-handedly. Yeah. He's blaming everyone else. Calls out Monica as well for being a superpower, super person sympathizer. It's like, I'm just trying to help the situation. One of those
First of all, do you mean like the Avengers who have saved the world multiple times and the Spider-Man and Daredevil, all these heroes. Good to know.
Yeah, good to know. Good to know
you're against those guys.
Yeah. Says that she's an impediment to the system.
That's
impediment to the mission, and even says it takes a really low blow. And I think it was obviously to try and
this was deep.
Get her to get a reaction. Yeah. Luckily, she's a calm person. And she goes, "It's a good thing you wasn't here when your mother died."
Yeah, because you wouldn't have the stomach for something. Yeah.
Oh boy!
Now, I'm just gonna say, Monica. I'm referring to my notes here.
Yes.
Because she's actually the main character. This is like her growth moment. She doesn't take the bait, and she just takes the lead. You know, this is one of the things. One of the reasons he's beefing everybody out is he's not confident. He's not like Monica. So if you have to tell people you're in charge, you're not in charge. We know Monica's in charge because she's the main character of the show.
We know that, yeah.
She's the most talented, the most important. I'm referring to my notes, and they say it's definitely the case.
Those notes right there.
These notes.
Okay,
right here.
All right.
And she basically says, you guys think it's a joke. I'm not joking. She says something. It's something along the lines of like, if first of all, we have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
We have no idea because he wants to kill Wanda.
Yeah.
Because that worked so great the last time.
Yeah, he tries to
Darcy
lay it
even
down
says like, this is coming from the guy that nearly got murdered by his murder squad.
Exactly, right? He tries to lay it out like, it's like, well, what's the alternative than trying to take her out? Surrender to that, and it's like that's not the alternative.
Yeah, there are not only two options here. Yes. And Monica, main character that she is, even says like, we have no idea what's happening, and we have no idea what happens if Wanda dies.
Exactly.
If she's the problem, there's a good chance that she is the solution.
Exactly. Yeah.
And well, clearly, the main character, the villain, who is douche lord,
he's going to be the villain, obviously. Yeah.
I think he's. What's the devil's name?
He's Mephisto.
Yeah. He's basically like...
Is this Mephisto? Everyone is Mephisto. Go on.
He's like, get the only people that have any chance of solving this thing out of here and take them away.
Literally the only people who've done any work. Get those people off of my base.
He does make one comment before this happens, though. He says he's beefing out Darcy and Monica.
Yeah.
And he's like... Jimmy Woo says something. He's like, "What, are you going to be the sassy best friend or whatever?" And he basically does the sassy thing. He's like, "Well, I'm just saying this thing." He feels it's great. I freaking loved it.
They get escorted off, and Monica just sort of figures out straight away. It's like, this smells funny. He's up to something. He's been trying to get us out of here for a while now. There's something wrong here. Jimmy Woo and Monica beat the living crap out of their escorts. Darcy's very taken back. It's like, why didn't you tell me the plan? I don't know what's going on.
Again. Only main characters can one hit KO judo chops to these unnamed extras.
Yes, exactly. So only the main character could do that. They put them in like a storage container. Sorry for those bastards.
Oh yeah.
Takes their raincoats and whatnot, and they sort of sneak around in the base.
Yeah.
We cut back to Westview, and it's all trick-or-treating time. Everyone's out on the road and stuff like that. Wanda asks some questions about Pietro.
She proper tests him, and one of the best things about this being a show, like within a show, is that they can break the fourth wall within the show because a few people know it's a show.
Yeah.
And then everybody watching it can be a bridge for us where they are outside of the fourth wall as well as we are. And I love the fact that he just goes, "Why are you testing me?" Like, I don't know what. I just woke up with a different face and...
Yeah. She's like, probably like, do you remember that guy that we was going out with?
In the orphanage.
The funny face thing was like, you're testing me. And it's like, yeah, but why do you look different and stuff like that? And he literally says to you, he's like, I don't know. One moment, I was just, I
was getting shot in a street.
Yeah, so this is interesting.
It's Pietro's death.
That's the thing. He says, one moment I was being shot in the street. I actually think this happens a little bit later when they're in the town square, but still applies to it. He goes, I was being shot in the street at one moment, and then next I heard you calling out for me. We didn't see the death of the other Pietro from X-Men, right?
He isn't dead.
I was going to say.
That's why he's here.
So this actually this Pietro?
No, I don't think so. I think this is, the X-Men Days of Future Past Pietro, or Peter, I think.
Where's this memory from then?
She slapped it on.
Maybe.
What's happened with everybody's like playing a character, but a lot of them don't know. Only the like named extras know, right? Like Herb knows, Ains knows, or can sometimes like, oh, do you need me to retake?
This episode turned a whole bunch of theories on its head for me.
Yeah.
Like the whole Ains thing at the end, what happened with her, I'm like, well, how does that fit into anything then? Also,
because they're running out of processing power. Have you ever seen the Rick and Morty episode?
Well, the thing is, I thought that she wasn't under the control in the first place. I thought she was actually behind the scenes, like pretending because she's working for someone.
Right.
But it seemed like what Vision was doing was putting her back into... It was very strange. And also, it looks like Pietro he knows what's going on. He's completely himself. Because at one point, he even directly says, how did you do all of this? Like, don't get me wrong, you probably had these kids all lying in bed somewhere and stuff like that. But where'd you pull them out from? So, it's so strange. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, let's continue with this shit right here. Getting in the weeds here.
We could easily spend an hour just talking about what's going on with Pietro.
Exactly. The kids come along and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna go trick or treating." The cool uncle wants to speed up their process. Zooms around, grabs them a ton of candy, smashes up one jack-o'-lanterns.
Bumps into Herb.
Yes.
And as that's happening, we see in the background Herb's getting cool. What do you mean all the candy's gone and everybody's covered in silly string? It's also done in a very, this is how it would look in Malcolm in the Middle way. Obviously, if it was Pietro, they'd be like, it would look totally different.
Yeah. What's really interesting about this part is that Herb is like, I've got to go, Wanda, I'm sorry. And it's like, oh yeah, no problem. It's like, is everything okay?
You want me to change something?
Is there anything you need changing?
Yeah. Also, this is one of the things, this is why I'm certain Wanda isn't like the bad guy. And I said this thing, I think it was in the second streamcast we did, where I was like, Wanda's like in a car, the car's going, she can choose what lane she's driving in, but it's going and she can't stop it. And that's why I think Wanda,
to that theory.
when Herb says, is there anything you want changed, she's like, no, it's fine. And she's like, I think she's just determined to sort of maintain the dream, but she doesn't have any controlling
what's going on.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It's in this scene as well that she also says like, oh, well, don't worry, you can ask Vision to help you out, and finds out that Vision isn't actually out in the neighborhood watch trying to help out. Where is he then?
That's right.
We don't know. Actually, we do know, because the very next thing is that we see Vision going to other parts of town.
There's one thing in between.
Go ahead.
The next ad.
Oh, is that where it happens?
Yeah, it's
on my
Yo
thing
Magic.
It happens afterwards, but it's all right. Yes, Yo Magic.
Yeah.
It only happens after that scene, but it doesn't matter. They're interchangeable.
Whichever. Yeah. So this is where suddenly the whole Mephisto thing gains some legs.
I need you to explain this to me, because I saw this advert and didn't understand anything.
Someone, and they literally say someone is snacking on Yo Magic. Someone's eating her power. It's so whatever the other force is, there's like some link where it's like feeding off her, but giving her extra powers in return, like kind of a symbiote, but
interesting,
but like much better than the Venom movie.
It's all about the way you say symbiote.
Right.
No, that's interesting. I didn't think about that.
But also, if you notice what happens to the like unnamed kid, he can't get into the reward. So the reward is hollow, and what happens? He ends up dying. He gets like sucked dry, basically, in this little isolated island. What's the hex? Isolated island.
That's true. Oh man, you know what?
That's the way I took it.
I need you guys to tell me if you knew what that was, because I was stumped. I was like, it's nothing to do with her life.
It's not like the Lagos.
Yeah, I think we got correct. It was Lagos. I think
Lagos.
Yeah.
That one was like the cleverest ad, where you're like, unless you're paying attention, you're like, oh, it's where they do the big mess up, and it's like cleaning up your messes, and that was a very clever ad. This ad has nothing to do with anything Avengers. We haven't met any of these people. It's Your Magic. Someone's snacking on Your Magic. What does she have? Magic, and someone's snacking on it. Someone's snacking on Your Magic.
That's interesting. That is interesting. So Vision goes to other parts of town and sees a woman putting up Halloween decorations.
This was super creepy.
But she be stuck in a loop. She's like putting one hand up to try and like hook this thing
and
back
her husband
down,
behind us
putting down a jack-o'-lantern rabbit, picking it up again,
and then this one tear,
one tear going down, like she is in pain inside,
or she just can't blink.
Possibly that as well.
I choose to believe it's the pain.
I mean, either way. I mean, could you imagine how much your eyes must hurt if they're open the whole time? Just like, how can you not keep your eyes open not close your eyes? Sorry, for the entire show, and see how that feels.
The weird thing is, the second I did that, is I made super intense eye contact. There's nowhere else to look, because every time you look away, you blink.
Anyway,
eyes emoji.
There you go. We cut back to Wanda and Pietro in the town centre, and they're walking away from a theatre, a cinema, which has The Incredibles and Parent Trap playing currently on the.
Really? I didn't.
Quite a cool little thing right there. Very of the time.
Yeah.
And Wanda asks,
"Honey, where's my super suit?"
It's like, what? What super suit? So sorry about my cough, by the way. I'm just recovering from a slight illness. It's okay. Wanda goes, "Why is your accent different?" And then Pietro goes, "Why is your accent different?"
Because we're in Malcolm in the Middle.
Exactly.
Come on.
But they've got like a back and forth. They're like, and this is where he says, I've wrote it written down here. It's like, I don't know what the hell happened here. Look, I look different. All this stuff. I'm here with this face. I just heard your voice and I knew you needed me.
That's super sweet, by the way.
It is brotherly love right there. It's just like, you needed me. This is the moment where Tommy and Billy come up to them and they're like, "Can we go down the street? They're handing out full-size candy bars over there." And Tommy
he's
goes
speed
away.
Now.
He discovers his speed.
Speed, but no Wiccan.
Yeah, it's true. No Wiccan red. But Uncle is super proud. He's like, "You
chip up the old block.
Chip up the old block. You got speed just like me, boy. Woo!" He's really happy. Mum's obviously like, "Okay, you have got super speed, but you can also take it slow."
Yeah.
And it's like, okay.
You guys can go trick-or-treating, but you cannot go past Ellis Avenue.
Yes. Don't go past Ellis Avenue. Okay, Mum.
I mean, it's curfew.
Sounds like a typical mum thing, right?
I mean, we had stuff like that as kids. It was like when the street lamps come on, you got to come home.
Do not go past Dover. So
right. Don't take any of the kitchen knives out for shanks. If you need a shank, go get your own.
Exactly. Buy your own from Tesco. Something like that. They
yeah.
sell them to anyone over there. This is the UK for those of you guys who don't know.
Right.
So Tony discovers the airspeed, and outside of the hex, Darcy and all the guys, they've jumped into one that's like secure area with some servers, and they managed to hack into the system and figure out that Douchey McDouche is tracking Vision,
He's got like everyone. Somehow he's picked up everyone, or everyone near Vision, something like that.
Yeah, the way they say it is that they're tracking vibranium decay signature, which that makes sense.
Fair enough.
Then they're like, how is he tracking everyone around? They say they can somehow track everybody in his immediate vicinity. And
I mean, it's a MacGuffin, but okay.
Whatever we say, it's technology and something like that. There's a vibranium dude who's dead walking around. I think we can...
Yeah, we can give that their sat-nav has other...
Little bit of play right there.
Right.
And they figure out that he's moving along and whatnot. But Jimmy also notices that, like...
As he's closing out into, like, the edge of the hex...
Yeah.
People are moving less.
Yeah, they're like kind of still. They're like, are they even alive? He says. But then we see later, we cut back to Vision, and he goes through a neighborhood, and no one is moving.
Dude, basically everybody's T-posed.
Everyone's just like,
they might as well be.
They might as well just be like that in a video game. That's what they might as well be.
If you guys have never seen it, that's how, at least the original, like from last generation games, if you need assets like characters in, instead of loading them in,
it's how Cyberpunk was released.
Was it?
So there you go.
Oh yes, I see.
Joke, get it?
I actually had that glitch where my V was running, like sprinting with Mantis arms out, and his shadow's just doing this. It's pretty freaking creepy, man. It is super creepy.
He tries to get the attention of one woman, can't do it. He then turns into proper Vision. And then he flies up into the sky, and he sort of uses his hearing and whatnot, and he can see, like, in the center of the town, things seem to be moving lively. He sort of turns to the side, and it gets quieter, almost like Superman hearing
it's kind
stuff.
Of Stranger Things vibes, you know?
And then in the distance, he sees one car just sort of stopped, and he decides to go over to it.
Yeah.
It's Ains.
It's Ains.
Ains, and she's stuck. She's sort of like
still. For the audio virgins, I assume this goes up on podcast services around the world.
Yeah.
Get fricked.
She does this. You guys have to guess what that is.
Right.
What you guys should be doing in your car right now, obviously, when you pull out your phone and like the podcast, rate 5 stars, stuff like that. Pull over your ambulance, things like that. And she stopped right there. Vision manages to snap her out of it, though, using his little power thing. And she breaks out. And she's like, oh my god, it's you, your Vision. And she's like, yes, it's me. Are you here to save us? Are you here to stop us? And it's like, yes, I'll do whatever I can. So I just need to figure out. It's like,
are the rest of the Avengers coming? What's an Avenger?
And he's like, what's an Avenger? It's like,
then she suddenly freaks out. She's like, "Oh my god, am I dead? I'm dead. I'm dead. Am I dead? Am I dead?
Why would you think you're dead?
Because you are." This is the line that made me decide I was watching the show no matter what happened, because I was like, how can Vision be here but also be dead? Like, I assumed it was a revival thing, or like they got the Dragon Balls, whatever, right? Like Vision's back. But
also, I'm surprised that made world news. Like, I thought it would have just been like Vision died and then the Avengers would have taken away his body and then that would have been
also
that, right?
Because it happens in Wakanda. Yeah. And no one's around to like... I mean, I guess they come back and they're like, yeah, we lost... It's been 5 years.
Yeah, I guess so.
Maybe you assume.
Whatever that everyone seems to know about, even these people in Westview. But what really gets me here is that she gets broken out of the trance.
Yeah.
And this whole time that I thought that maybe she was not under the influence, but she was playing along in the part.
Yeah.
And also those moments that we had where she was doing the jazzercise thing and she was like, do you want me to take it from the top? It's almost like she had free will. And also the time when she was trying to convince her, don't say anything, don't say anything. It seemed like she was of her own mind. But the thing touching the head is kind of proof that she wasn't.
I think they're literally in a show. So these are characters played by actors, both are the thing, right? So the people have acting overlaid, and they play the character of Agnes or Herb, right? And in the meantime, they know that all that is there. You know how Vision said that thing like, I don't remember anything before this and I'm scared, right? Same sort of deal. No one remembers anything else. They just know that this goes the way Wanda wants it to go. So if they didn't do a take right, there's been plenty of rewinds. Should I take it from the top?
That makes a bit more sense.
And then oh my god, what's going on? I'm not...
They're not playing a character, they're playing an actor who's playing a character.
Right, yeah, they're kind of like wiped, and then boom, you act as character of...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Although the thing is that the thing with Herb seemed like genuine fear. It seemed like fear for your life. Almost
which thing?
You know where they're outside and Vision's like, hey, morning neighbor. It's like, is everything okay? And it's like, Geraldine, she doesn't have a home.
I think it was more concerned for maintaining the dream.
Yeah, but that makes me think that that it's more than that she has more free will. It's conflicting. I don't know.
I think they're trying to maintain the hex because whoever it is feeding off Wanda. If she leaves and breaks out, he gets no food, or it gets no food.
Yeah.
So they have to maintain the dream, keep her here.
But the way she was acting meant it felt like
it's an immune response.
She knew about that.
It's an immune response. It's a foreign body.
I don't know.
I mean, clearly the main character. I'm referring to my notes.
That's a stretch. I feel like that's a stretch. That's a cool theory, but that's you're building things. I feel like, but
yeah.
Anyway,
I want to build a long-lasting relationship. Is what I'm saying.
Anyway, that was what threw my theory sort of through loops. I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. I'm super interested to see how it's going to go.
Yeah.
Though. Anyway, what's an Avenger? And then Aang starts crazy laughing.
Can we please call her Agnes?
Okay, we're calling her Agnes, guys. So the joke's been cemented.
Yeah.
Agnes goes...
If you didn't get it, literacy, not our strong suit.
No, not great. She starts crazy laughing because she's like, we're never getting out. No one can leave.
Yeah.
It's like, see you later, neighbor, or something like that. And she just like turns the car around and then turns back. We zoom
What road are we on?
Ellis Avenue.
What? Also, I want to know if this is maybe a reference to something, because there's Ellis Island is where the X-Men movie takes place.
Yeah, I thought that too.
I feel like that's a super big reach.
It's a big reach, isn't it?
But
we've seen one X-Men and we're like, that's it, we're going for it.
Close enough. It's Thin, but my middle name is Thin.
That's right.
We're running with it. X-Men, totally confirmed. Hugh Jackman's the cameo. Boom.
Hugh Jackman, there we go. We've confirmed it, guys.
Confirmed. You heard it here
We're
first.
Basically emergency awesome. We're going to put over the thumbnail's going to be Wolverine confirmed for MCU.
Right. Make sure you watch all the way in through until timestamp at least here.
25 minutes in.
Exactly. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that stuff, boys.
By the way, there's absolutely no shred of evidence.
We're so terrible at this YouTube shilling. I bet the thumbnail's just a normal StreamCast thumbnail.
Yeah, it's just going to be normal.
Let's get Belle Delphine in it.
Sorted. Done.
Belle Delphine confirmed as cameo? Question mark?
Cut back to Darcy and the gang. Monica gets a message from someone.
Are you calling them Darcy and the gang?
I am literally calling them.
I just call them the trio.
Oh, okay.
Like the frick, I need a something that rhymes with T.
While I do like Monica Dambo, she's a great character, she's not as effervescent as Darcy, and also she's not as adorable as Jimmy Woo is.
Those are both true.
And when I say them, I'm like, all right, it's either going to be Darcy or it's going to be Jimmy, whichever one it is.
Because the thing is, we got to say this, right?
Yeah.
Darcy had that same thing when she was next to Thor. Monica, we know, is going to become like Captain Marvel or whatever that edit I found was.
It was Captain Marvel, I think, yeah.
So she's like the Thor, the more serious person, and then you have like the great, still serious, still very useful, like kind of comedy relief fun of Jimmy Woo and Darcy. By the way, Darcy, the only good thing about Thor Dark World is her mispronouncing Mjolnir.
Meow meow.
It's Mjolnir. It's literally the only good thing.
We cut back to Darcy and the gang, and Monica gets a message from someone saying that her way into the Hex is ready. Do you have any theories as to who this person is?
I thought it was the thing she spoke about in the last episode.
Who the person is. So it was the thing, definitely what you're talking about, the cadmium
who her
lab
contact
thing and
is.
but who her contact is. She goes, I've got someone who can help us
it's
out.
Tony Stark, innit?
Tony
Frick
Stark.
it. I mean, if
that's it.
Vision's back, Tony's back too.
Bringing them all back, guys.
You
You guys wanted it. Let's just cheapen his death and let's bring him back.
Yeah, it means nothing now. In the grand scheme of things, it's nothing.
Do you have any ideas?
No.
I only have one idea.
Mr. Fantastic, innit?
Yeah. That's my reach.
Is that,
Reed Richards, I was like,
I'm glad you said that because I'm like, who else is on a Stark level? It's Reed Richards, isn't it?
Exactly.
And I literally just threw that out because I was like, what? I'll throw something, see if it sticks. Oh, look at that. It's made of rubber.
It just happens to do it. It's fantastic. I feel like it has to be, but do you have any ideas who they might get to play?
Please just bring back Jessica Alba.
Oh,
you know,
let's do that. Do you know what? This will be a really funny time to bring back Chris Evans as Human Torch, just for one scene. Just for one scene,
please.
Bring him back.
That would be so
I
funny.
Just need the towel shirtless scene where he comes out of the shower and it's like.
That was a great scene.
That's a great scene. Anyway, that would be hilarious.
That would be funny. And then where are you going? I can't tell you. Please do. No, I don't think I will.
Don't think I will. No, he just ducks out of there. That'd be so great. Anyway, Darcy says, no, you can't go. It's like, why not? The Hex changed your body. Douchey McDouche got your blood work back and look at it. It's changed you on a molecular level. It's changed all of your cells, everything. You've gone in there twice. You can't go back in there or risk anything like that. And she's just
this definitely isn't the way she becomes freaking Captain Marvel.
Right?
Whoop, whoop.
She's like, I've seen test results of people going to remission, people going into like...
Yeah, I've seen enough test results.
I'm going to help Wanda. She needs me. This is
stoic main character, ignoring her own health.
Exactly.
Being the hero and going to help the poor defenseless mother of two.
Exactly. Defenseless, absolutely defenseless. She has
That's how I choose to present this.
Darcy says, I'm going to stay here though because there's one more firewall I haven't got through. And I know Douchey McDouche is hiding something in here.
That's right. So the seasoned FBI agent and sword agent are like, cool, random physicist, we'll just leave you in the heart of potentially a conspiracy cover-up where there was a good chance we were all being taken away to be murdered and dropped in the woods and become casualties of this thing.
You got this right? Cool.
You're good, yeah? But just make sure you meet us over here, even though there's all these trained soldiers and literal kill squads here, just make sure you get through the firewall, hack this super classified. There's no way you have clearance to view the stuff even at all. You could go to a CIA black site for the rest of your life just for looking at the stuff. Just make sure you meet us in an hour.
You got this. Don't worry. I'll text you the details.
And then get some Uber Eats us like some Taco Bell or something. Yeah, good. Got it.
We cut back to the town square, and Pietro starts to break down to Wanda and get some answers. Like, I'm impressed, but how did you do all of this?
This next line's the creepiest thing in the whole show so far.
Which bit? Go on. Which bit did you have?
Where were you hiding all the kids?
Yes.
Something about that to me is creepier than the guy coming out in the bee suit. It's creepier than like Wanda going full Wanda Maximoff, like when she was a terrorist. Like, I don't know, man. Something about the way he says, like, where were you hiding all these kids? And she's like,
and he starts to poke a bit more. He's like, but he's also kind of not judging as well. He's sort of like, it's like, no, don't worry, this is all really impressive and whatnot. I like how you've done this and you've thought about some of the ethical stuff. You kept families together, you give them better jobs and stuff like that. But and don't get me wrong, it's a massive step up from like doing wiggly woos from your hands and red stuff and whatnot to like doing all this. But how did you do?
I love
all
the
of
description of the wiggly woos because that is literally. Can you imagine? Has anybody seen the shot of like in the Flash where everybody's doing their powers and?
Without CG.
Yeah,
it's terrible.
It's just an Olsen doing this. Wiggly woos.
Yeah, and she's like, you don't think this is bad? And it's like, no, I'm impressed by all this stuff and whatnot. But then again, he's kind of the reckless type, so I wouldn't take his seal of approval as like this is all cool, it's sanctioned, done. That's right. Right there.
The last thing he did was help turn a city into a earth-shattering, like literally earth-shattering, world-ending asteroid, basically.
Not great resume. Anyway, he does ask his voice like, how did he get this done? It's like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just remember feeling completely alone.
Bottomless loneliness or something she says,
And it's like really bad shit right there. It's like, okay, what's going on there? And it gets to get really bad. Wanda
turns
back.
Whoever's designing these scenes,
at Pietro. And Pietro is full of holes, dead corpse, the freakiest thing, and it shuddered like I shuddered when I saw Vision for that one time as well.
It's not quite as bad.
It got me. I was like, the grey was just like enough for me.
the grey lifeless skin is the worst bit.
Yeah.
And the dead eyes, there's nothing there. I think the Vision scene was like worse, but whoever's doing that shot, it's freaking great.
Yeah.
It's freaking great. It was a great thing, and she also I think she sells her next scene, that next bit where she's like, ugh, and then he's like, what? She's like, no, nothing, it's fine. And that's where I think she is like trying to maintain the dream. She knows, like, you know, when you're dreaming, you're not in control, right? Your brain's doing all sorts of weird stuff. You're not in control, but if you wake up and you're like, if I don't do anything, I can maybe get back into dream and pick up where I left off with that hot, like Afro mermaid,
right,
wherever it was, whatever you're dreaming about, just the common ones.
Yeah, the common ones. Yeah. Back outside of the hex, Darcy breaks through the firewall and finds something called the cataract. Don't know what this thing is, but she found the fire. We don't know what this is.
Really, cataracts are those things that stop you seeing, isn't it?
Yeah, they're like cloudy vision in your eyes and whatnot.
Right.
Don't know what it is, but it's called the cataract. Anyway, unless I've read it wrong, which is totally possible, you guys can let me know in the chat.
Yeah, it was just the cat racks.
Yeah, it could be something serious right there.
Thundercats confirmed.
Thundercats confirmed right there. But she does say it's like, so this is what you're up to, and then cuts back to she gets an alert on her monitor, and it's Vision getting close to the edge of the hex. He's getting super close now. He's walked beyond Ellis Avenue, Ellis Island, whatever.
It's basically like the road tees off and then goes over a hill, and as soon as you crest the hill, you're like, boom, that's the limit.
Exactly. And he goes right up to it. And he fights his way through it.
He's pretty good. Pretty
damn painful. You can tell that the hex does not want to let him out, but Vision really wants to get out of this. Yeah. Alarm bells go off in the inside of the camp, and everyone meets him outside. Even Douchey McDouche goes out there, and he's like, he really wants to get out of there. As Vision's going through, bits of him is breaking off out of there, and it's a painful sight to see.
God damn, is Bettany good? He really looks like he's pushing against a force field, or like what's a big storm called?
Hurricane.
That's the word. Cut that bit.
I get that feeling actually. It's a bit like he's trying to like push against the elements like that. He does look really, really like he's struggling so much there,
and in real pain.
Yeah. Back in the center of town, Wiccan here's something.
Can we call them Speed and Wiccan from now on? Because I can't tell the difference between them if we go Billy and Tommy.
I was going to say the only way I knew is because earlier on in this episode, he goes, Billy said this, and he goes, I'm Tommy. And I don't you forget that. And I'm like, okay, I know which one Tommy is, so the other one must be Billy.
Right.
But Speed and Wiccan, much better. Yeah. Wiccan goes, he actually stops his brother with his force. He's like,
very sick.
Very cool. And he goes, whoa. He's like, and he can hear.
Spoiler alert, Wiccan's more powerful than Speed.
A little bit. Can hear Vision calling out in pain.
Yeah.
And he's like, Mom! Yeah. Runs over to Mom straight away and says, I can hear Dad. He's in pain. I don't know what's going on. But he's a kid. He's distressed. Yeah. He doesn't know what the hell is going on. First time he's getting his powers and whatnot. Pietro doesn't help the situation. Hey, don't sweat it, sis. It's not like your dead husband could die twice.
Yeah, first of all, get fricked.
And that's what he does. Pushes him across the fucking thing, gets straight through the podium.
Also, I hope this comes back. I hope in the next episode, the boys, the twins, go like, what was Uncle Pietro talking about? Like your dead husband.
It's going to be interesting to hear.
Right, because he just outed the big secret in front of like the kids that maybe don't exist but definitely do exist.
Yeah. Wiccan uses his power too for the first time, and it's quite cool. He can like see the recent events and hear them in his mind and whatnot, and he can tell that they see him outside of the hex and they think he's going to die.
Yeah.
And Wanda goes all Wanda Maximoff.
It feels like he's getting the impression from the guys watching it going, this dude's dying, and he picks up on they think he's dying.
I don't actually know Wiccan's power. Does he get impressions from people who are alive? And that's why maybe he didn't get the impression from Vision because he's dead.
I mean, he can kind of like mind read, right? Is the base? It basically has Wanda's powers, basically.
Could be interesting.
That's super deep. I wasn't expecting that from you, bruv.
There
That
you
is
go.
sick.
So not
That's
just
a
a
great
hat
idea.
rack. Not just a hat rack. Anyway, Wanda expands the hex to try and like keep him contained inside inside the hex. Goes a little bit overboard. Takes
Bit over the top.
Takes the entire sword base.
I'm just gonna say, Wanda Maximoff not known for restraint ever. Really, like
She's never just been like, just enough. There you go.
yeah, just in maybe a hair more.
She overcooked the
wind
turkey.
it back just a bit, and then turn it back
And
to
then
eggs.
turn it to eggs. You know, it didn't really work out. She takes the whole sword base. They turn into like a carnival scene and whatnot. All the agents turn into like clowns.
And this is
stuff
how
like
we
that.
know this whole thing is evil.
Exactly. Evil clowns right there. And almost, well, actually, Darcy comes out to try and help. It's like, the thing's killing him. Help him out.
Yeah.
She gets handcuffed to a jeep that's stuck there. She gets taken into the hex as well.
I'm really excited to see what Darcy looks like.
Exactly. A lot of people get taken in. Pretty much what looks like the only people that survive are Douchey McDouche and
Frick
his
that guy.
driver.
Yeah.
Monica Rambeau and Jimmy Woo.
I think you mean Monica Dambo.
Dambo, my apologies.
Referring to my notes, that's
Is that what it says? I don't have a name.
Dambo.
And it gets, when it expands, at least Vision seems normal looking when he's on the floor.
Yeah.
So is he okay? We don't know. We'll have to wait till the next episode. Probably will be, but that's what's happening.
This changes a lot, right?
Yes.
Because the presumption was that Vision's body's there, and whatever the force in the hex is like animating him and allowing his like brain to fire back up, basically, right? And then slapping on a basic life, right?
Yeah.
But if he can't leave, or maybe it's because when she took his body, it was in bits. Maybe he starts falling off. But it looked like bits of him getting pulled back into the hex,
It
right?
was strange because to me as well, like at least the visual look, and we might be reading too much into this.
Nah, it's good enough.
This may be the curtains are just red,
100% confirmed.
but the pieces that came off, it looked like he was hollow on the inside.
What?
To me, that's what I look like, and I watched this twice just to make sure.
Yeah,
Feel
I'm
free to
gonna-
put it up and whatnot. Disney Plus, thank you so much for making it on demand, and right now, thank you for the COVID stuff and whatnot. But that's what I saw from it. I mean, if he's actually there, then it'll be bits inside. I don't know. This is also strange to me. What does it look like to you?
I mean, this guy's put like an old timey filter on it so he doesn't get done. Let's see. I don't know if he looks hollow. Just bear with me one sec.
Go on, have a look. I'll tell you what. While you're looking at that, because this is actually that end
I mean,
of
I
the.
see what you're saying,
Yeah.
but I don't think I know what the. Maybe
Yeah. It's odd. I don't know what to think here. I don't know what to think. It could be that he's just a projection. Maybe that she used his bodies to make the manifestation of. I don't know what's happening here. There's a lot we don't know.
Yeah.
But it's exciting to think about.
I'm
this.
happy to just say all of our theories and then every episode be proved not just wrong, but like completely, utterly wrong. We weren't even close.
Vision is Mephisto. Okay, got it.
Yeah. Got it.
That is the end of the episode of WandaVision, right?
Yes.
There, episode 6. so many things to think about right there. While I don't think it was the best episode, all of the episodes are right up here. So it's like, oh, this one's just a bit here.
Right,
Not
it's
so
like,
bad.
it wasn't the best. On normal things, you're like, it wasn't the best. It was kind of season 8 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is like, every single one is season 1 of Game of Thrones.
Exactly.
They're all great.
I'm going to kick it over to our Patreon, patreon.com/conversations, where our bros write in and they get priority right here, so just like you guys can.
That's right.
Any one of our patrons.
Because, of course, we're not the only ones watching this show.
It's true.
We watch it with you guys, and then you write in either on our Patreon
That's right.
or the best Discord there is. It's Conversations.
Exactly. So Diogo, the Discord right here. That's what it is.
I'm just deleting the Discord. I'm deleting
Just
it.
delete the Discord.
I'm deleting it. We're starting again.
Summer Dylan writes in again with another great comment, beautifully spaced and
Okay.
everything like that. He goes,
Perfect.
Things are getting heated, boys. Feel free to take pauses and give me your thoughts. Just this is a class example of
Maybe
how
you
you do
just-
a comment.
Oh, he actually has done spacing.
Great comment, right? It's actually good. Fantastic.
okay, cool,
He did
cool,
it great last time, did another great job, right? He goes, first things first, I wanted to talk about that commercial. It wasn't very clear like the other ones, but here's my theory. At the start of this episode, Tommy calls himself the cool twin, and since the shark in the commercial was all cool looking, I thought that could be the shark representing Tommy and the boy representing Billy, but who knows?
I kind of felt like I actually forgot about the shark, but like sharks aren't known for being friendly.
True.
There is a big fish, a shark, and that's the thing that's like eating your magic.
I like that you went for something here. Honestly, I had no theory, so your theory is better than mine, but I do like Sheps' one. I would like to know what you think about it as well after hearing it.
Also, claymation. That's like I was not expecting the budget to include all these different.
I was going to say, Jesus. And the next part he goes, now Pietro. He's self-aware, and again, he feels like he's self-aware in this, of Wanda's hex, and he's also self-aware that he looks different. Wanda tried quizzing him, but he avoided the question. That's something as well. Now, it partly could be down to his character, but it did seem like he did avoid the question a couple of times.
I think
Go on.
Vision's gonna do the thing on Pietro, and we're gonna get. Is it Peter Evans he plays as his ex? He's not Pietro. He's Peter Evans.
Peter Evans.
Something.
One of those ones.
It's something like
is
that.
the original actor.
Oh, he's not. I think
Is
he
it?
calls himself Peter in X-Men: Days of Future Past. He's not Pietro, I believe.
We have a look.
Dead
I put Peter Evans.
Okay.
Evan Peters. Here we go.
Oh, that'll be it. That's his name.
Oh wait, sorry. Evan Peters actually his name. Sorry, I'm getting them.
Yeah.
confused.
What does he? What's the name? Does he play? Is his name Pietro in Days of Future Past?
Good question. I think it is
But
Pietro.
I think what will happen is he'll buzz his head like he's done with Ains and all those other people.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, "What the frick? Where am I? Where is this? Are you Wanda? You're not my Wanda." Stuff like that. And it's going to come clear that he isn't self-aware. He's done what like we thought we saw Agnes and Herb and stuff like talking behind the scenes, and then it turned out actually it was their actors talking behind the scenes about what they have to do and any problems on the set, which was the main character Monica. And then as soon as he buzzes Agnes, she starts freaking out. Why are you here? She's never seen him before. Like,
we'll see.
so
He
that's what I think.
seems so self-aware, like he's not affected by things in
Because
here.
he's playing one of the main characters. He's playing the brother of the main character of the
I
reality
feel like
show.
it's beyond that. Personally,
Yeah.
I feel like it's beyond that. I feel like he directly. It's almost like he can see everything.
Yeah.
I don't know how he can see everything because it's not like this has been done before. He even says like, "How did you do all of this?" And like, he just knows.
I
somehow.
can't wait to be proved right and then be smug and pretend I'm not being smug about it.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean, it was a good idea, Ed, but some of us.
Fine people know the truth. Pietro asked so many questions about Wanda. It's also it's almost as if he's trying to gather information to give it to someone like Doctor Strange, Mephisto, even thoughts. That was my original thought. That
Okay,
Pietro
didn't think about
isn't-
that.
Yeah, that's my thought that Pietro isn't real. That he's actually either a manifestation of Mephisto or he is Mephisto, and he's trying to get information from her.
See,
Especially when he asks the question like, "How do you do all of this and whatnot?" He's trying
but Mephisto, someone's powering Wanda up. She doesn't have this power. She doesn't have this ability.
Yeah.
So I don't buy the he's Mephisto.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't be shocked if we got a scene that was like a flashback of Doctor Strange finding another Pietro.
Yeah,
he needs a Pietro to insert into the show, and
someone
so
she would trust,
right,
someone she would,
and goes to like the
to.
next nearest thing, and that's.
This is good. This is good. I like this. That
could
could
see-
be
I
something.
could see that. I could see that.
Next bit goes. So now that Vision's mind can no longer be reset by Wanda, we see Vision exploring the outskirts of the Hex, which is full of people who weren't moving. To me, I just think this is simple, like a video game rendering thing, where things, if the player's far away from the location, then said location isn't rendered properly.
Yeah,
exactly.
I think exactly that.
Yeah, and also she did up her powers. She's now got a force field around the Hex, which must make her. It must be taxing. Like she can't control everybody now because now she has to also share her power doing that as well.
I see what you mean.
And I can't imagine what it's going to be like now. She's made it even bigger and included more people into it.
She didn't seem to be like
The scenes
drained.
like weren't there before. Like you couldn't see them until the very last time where she like had to make the force field.
Yeah.
And now almost things are falling apart. Like she can't reset visions for some reason. Maybe her powers a bit diminished. She can't, not powerful enough. I don't know what's going on, but it seems like
because it doesn't look like she's being worn out by the effort of keeping everything up. This is one of the reasons I don't think it's her. Like it's not her keeping this thing up. Whatever this is, it's eating your magic. I'm sorry, it's the only good take I've got this whole episode. I'm sticking with it.
But there is one thing.
Yeah.
She did make the Hex bigger.
Yeah.
So does that mean that she is actually the one doing this?
Well, that's a really good point, and I didn't think about that at all. I don't. I'm going to say.
I love this conversation.
Yeah.
This is why I love StreamCast.
I think my theory is no, but like she has control over what happens in the Hex, right? So she can add to the set and stuff, but like what's keeping it up, what's powering it, is a different power source. That's my guess.
Vision meets Agnes, who seems to be acting weirder than others, so she doesn't have the free will after all. Again, a really strange moment. She seemed like she did. It seemed like she did in episode 3 and 5, where with her saying things like, "Should we take it from the top?" and seeing Herb and telling Vision that they're really. Stopping Herb from telling Vision what they really are. So things are odd to me. And my theory was right, he says. Vision does go back to being dead after stepping out of the Hex.
Maybe.
Yeah. Was it the barrier doing
Definitely
that?
Maybe.
Or was it that he stepped out and he started to deteriorate?
This is the thing. I think the risk is that if Wanda ends this thing, Vision dies. And as far as she knows, so do the boys, the twins. It will turn out that the boys don't. But for her to be the hero, she has to give up her family. And that's going to be the risk, and it's going to turn out that it will pay off because she will get Wiccan and Speed and Wiccan. But it's going to be... Also, she's so good, and I think people really underrate her as an actress because she does the wiggly woos. But she's very talented, and I can't wait to watch her struggle with that decision and ultimately pick, like, saving everybody.
It's going to be a hell of a moment, especially character growth-wise.
Like, Vision's ultimately the same guy, right? He's ultimately a hero. He pushes through this thing in absolute pain, and the only thing he cares about while he's clearly dying is the people need help.
The people of Westview need help.
Right.
Sorry,
He's still an Avenger.
It's true, but he doesn't know what the Avengers are.
Yeah.
He goes... that scene really caught me off guard. I was not ready to see Vision dying like that. Now I wanted to talk about a really sick theory Mario had. I mean, Mario's not really... Who is Mario, to be honest? I mean...
Pretty much nobody, but he does make incredible edits of your old streams.
He does. God damn it, did you see the edit of the Zack?
I didn't. It cracked me up.
It's quite funny. It was quite inventive. You're actually really cool, bro. About Mario had about the Hex changing the molecules. He said something about how the Hex is slowly making most of everyone in the town mutants. Like how we see Tommy and Billy. If this really is the case, then I think that would be so cool, as in them turning into the mutants, and that's how we introduce mutants into the world. It'd be very localized, but that could be an interesting way of doing it. It means that Monica will get powers, maybe Darcy as well. In the next episode, we'll finally be meeting Monica's contact, which I believe would be the big cameo, where people are saying it might be Reed Richards. There we go.
It's got to be. Who else can it be?
Right.
Who else is going to be able to get you that, whatever it was she needed?
That's the thing. For that, I'd say it has to be Reed Richards.
I hope
we did hope it was like Magneto or something like that, but that wouldn't fit with what we're thinking.
Also, I don't think that's a big cameo. It's a big it's not even that big of a name. The Fantastic Four have like cult classic, but they've never been that big.
I think getting Ian McKellen is a huge name.
I think Fassbender.
I think Fassbender's good. Anyway, we're getting into the weeds here. We think it's Reed Richards for this, though.
For this, I think this is a reveal, but I don't think this is going to be the cameo. Is my guess. God,
could you have multiple cameos? That'd be great. The last couple episodes are supposed to be about an hour long each, anyway.
Yeah,
as
that's
opposed
gonna.
To the 30 minutes.
Sorry, boys, but free time you're not allowed.
You're not allowed anymore.
I also Tyler had that same sort of theory, which was that because of the snapping, that everyone's been exposed to a ton of like cosmic radiation. That would be a good way to bring the mutants in.
Yeah,
but without like retconning anything.
Yeah.
The only problem with that though is we have got the Days of Future Past Pietro.
Yeah.
And so like how are we going to square this circle?
It's going to be interesting.
I guess they could say like the radiation is one of the things that mutants are now a thing here, but because of this hex, like the X-Men are coming in and they'll lead the new mutants or whatever, but we don't have any like mutant racists. That's the big thing about the X-Men. It's always been this big, it's basically a metaphor for racism.
Yeah, we don't like the mutants. They're different to us humans,
right.
us normal people.
Right.
Yeah. And he goes, which will be sick. What do you think it'll be? Yeah, this is what we think it'll be. Our next comment is from Real Kermit Cinema. He's a question. He goes, hey lads, my question for you guys is, do you think Quicksilver is back full time or just for this show? Interesting question.
It's a really good question. I guess it depends. It depends if this show's bringing in the X-Men or mutants in general. I could see, because he's not like a huge movie star. He's not a Michael Fassbender. He's not a Frick. Who's the guy that played Professor X? His name
James McAvoy.
James McAvoy. Right, like those are huge names.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah, the guy that played the fast dude with like the really cool slow-mo scenes.
Yeah.
Right, and you don't remember his name unless you get Pietro's name wrong. You know, so yeah, I could definitely see it. That would be cool. I actually really like him. He's really good.
I think they will. It's kind of, I think it'd be a bit weird to bring him back and make a big deal out of it, and then go, right, see you later, see you guys in the sunset. But they could do that. I mean, if you make from brand new, then you kind of control the mold and you kind of make it go forward. Yeah. And MCU, they could do that. They could want to do that.
And they've stepped away from the canon plenty of times. Most of the times it was because of different deals, like Fox owned X-Men and stuff.
Exactly.
But you know, they could definitely do it. There's no reason that they can't just like make a few tweaks here. I could definitely see him being like a leading force in like an X-Men show, or you know, like a Disney Plus 4-stream movie type thing. So yeah,
Quicksilver's a very, very cool character. They hope they wouldn't get rid of him.
His scenes were so good in Days of Future Past. They were the best thing about it. In my opinion, they were the best thing, visually at least. So
visually very stunning, very
so good.
Or eyegasm. Let's kick it over to our Diogo server.
No, I'm deleting it now. What's the command to delete Discord?
It's just !delete server. Just pop that in there.
I'll do that.
And then the whole server just implodes. I'm going to kick it over. We'll tandem this if you could in the...
do you know what? Frick it. I'm not... Mother frickers! They changed the logo.
They changed everything. You can't even recognize us, and it's
Mate.
called the Diogo server.
Mate.
Diogo Gations, the Diogo Simp Chat, Diogo. It was all the
freak these cunts.
This bastard has taken over our lives.
What's the room?
I hope you know, Diogo, that you are now intellectual property of Conversations.
Oh
now.
shit!
We now own you.
Good. We're bringing slavery back, boys.
Exactly. It's in the Movie Club Streamcast review. That's not changed, fortunately.
Cool.
The first one I'll take because it actually has a real name.
Is that the thumbnail we're going with, by the way?
Although, possibly, yeah.
I'm begging you.
Edgy000, right? Sydney
Sorry,
goes,
bro, you're the one guy with a name that doesn't suck.
Yes, exactly.
And we ruined it. I'm really sorry.
With this episode, the idea of Mephisto becoming the main villain is becoming more and more apparent to me. I believe that it will probably be a good turning point for Wanda to give up Vision to stop the hell she's putting people in. But my question is that if it is a good ending for you guys, or do you think that you would want something a bit different, since most people were thinking him being the big bad? It's all about execution at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If they do things right, it'll be cool. We haven't had anything confirmed. Everything is our suspicion.
Yeah.
So if they do come out and go, it is Mephisto, and when we see Mephisto for the first time,
we'll take credit for being right,
exactly,
but
it'll be like Conversations did it first.
We called it,
Streamcast, the number one out there. Tell your grandma.
That's right.
But it'll be interesting to know, okay, what does he look like? What are his actual powers in this? Is it comic book accurate? Is it not? How is he playing into the grand plan? Why is he here? Because there's a story in the comic book, but is that true to this? We don't know. It'll be very interesting to see all that stuff as well.
I suspect this will, if it's Mephisto, this will be the lead into Mephisto being the big. You know, it took like 6 movies for Thanos to actually arrive, right? But we kept hearing about him, and we kept hearing like Loki's army it wasn't Loki's army, it was Thanos' army, all this stuff, right? Yeah. This would be like the first thing. Okay, Mephisto's the big bad, but we barely see him. Maybe it's like a devilly face in the shield, in the hex, and the way she beats him and like gets rid of him is giving up Vision and the boys, and it turns out that the boys stick around, right? So we get Speed and Wiccan, but she doesn't know that. She has to give it up. That he'd probably lie and say like everything we created in here goes. Vision, the twins, and then that would be the way for they'd be like his Horcruxes. That's the reason for him to keep coming back. Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
right.
That's the thing I was going to say. I don't think it ends here. Yeah. I don't think Mephisto gets beaten here and then that's the end of that, because these kids do still exist. And at the end of the day, it's the devil. How do you beat the devil?
And also, I feel like this is going to be a dramatic, and I mean like an ending in drama, not an ending in like fighting Thanos, Tony dies. Right. This is an ending where she just says, "Okay, stop." The consequences are Vision dies and stuff, but all she has to do is say the word. She just has to turn the game off, right? But I mean, playing God of War, how hard is that? Right, it's
very hard.
Right, it's the best experience. Right, she gets her family, but all she has to do is say the word, and that's the thing that defeats him, and he gets like pulled back into the genie thing or whatever it is. Infinite cosmic power. I'm sorry. So I think it will be like a dramatic ending, but not so much like a big fight. Like we haven't even really seen any what would consist of violence in this, like kind of fighting. Wanda
it's actually been a very cool start.
It's been great.
It's completely subverted everyone's expectations, and
in a good way. Looking at you, Game of Thrones.
Exactly. Read our bro Diogo's comment, would you please?
By the way, I'm not checking any of your names.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, you're getting fricked.
Everyone's
you
Diogo.
do this to yourselves. You're all. You know who you are. And I'm giving all the credit to Diogo, the actual Diogo. Good. Well done, Diogo. I thought Ep 6 was really good. I enjoyed seeing each of the characters in their comic accurate suits and stuff. Seeing Billy and Tommy get their powers was really cool. Short little theory. I think Billy and Tommy will speed age at least one more time to be about 15. Then I think Billy is going to be the one to get Wanda out of this daydream kind of thing.
Ooh.
Interesting.
Because there's like the mind stuff in it.
Right. He definitely maybe. There is the Young Avengers thing.
Yeah, Ben brought that up, and I didn't dismiss it. I just didn't think it was going to be a thing because I think it's too granular. But other people were saying as well, it's like, oh, look, they're getting their powers now. This could be it. But
I mean, Teen Titans is that's DC, obviously, but Teen Titans has proved that, like, if you do it well, like, people vibe with it. That's had multiple shows, multiple animated shows, and then they made an older Teen Titans live action, and it's not great, but it's also not bad.
Interesting.
Well done, Diogo.
And also, it'd be interesting as well, because that could be a Disney show rather than one of the big movies.
Right,
and
exactly.
Whatnot. There you go. Diogo writes in, and he says, this episode was pretty good overall. I love Pietro's acting, like a complete kiddo in front of Wanda's kids, and the occasional jabs he threw at Wanda. Occasional jabs.
He was like
a full-blown gut punch.
Right. Who was going at it?
It's really cool to see Billy and Tommy develop their powers now. Some wild theories suggest that Agnes is behind this all, but I doubt it. Yeah. It did seem very much like this time. It was like, oh, my theory's falling apart. But I like the scene with Agnes and Vision, then Wanda at the end expanding the hex perimeter to keep Vision alive was mad. So many questions still, like, how does Pietro know of Wanda's mind control hex thing? It's very true. How does he know that? Is it because Doctor Strange told him? Ooh, eyes emoji.
Eyes emoji.
I think this show will end on a cliffhanger, which will continue to the next Doctor Strange movie. Big agree right there.
I could see that for sure. I could definitely see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do think we'll get Vision will do the thing to
Pietro, and he'll be like, "What the frick's going on? You're not my Wanda. Where am I? This isn't even my world."
That could be so interesting. I hope so.
Yeah. Oh no, because it's she's going to be a modern. By the time that happens, she'll be in like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
This Pietro's from the 70s, 60s.
Oh yeah.
That's how he'll know he's not in his right world, because he won't know what the cars look like.
The hell is this?
Right, TVs are going to be flat. Yeah, that'll be it.
Interesting.
Called it. You heard it here first. You're welcome, boys.
StreamCast.
Diogo says,
Oh, Diogo. Haven't heard from him in a while.
he's feeling chatty.
Feeling chatty today.
Get fricked, all of you. Overall, great episode. I really enjoyed it. I love the Malcolm in the Middle style of the episode. Yeah, I'm glad we weren't the only ones that. Yeah. Now for some theories. This is the juicy bit.
I love everyone's got theories. I feel like Tyler as well. He came in and was like, I don't really have any theories. I'm just watching it. By the end of it, he's like, oh, it could be this. It could be that. And everyone's joining us
Maybe we
now.
can see what his availability is for the next step. I think that Vision is powered by the hex, so he can't exit out or else he'll fall apart. Yeah, cool, good. We're on the same boats, Diogo. No, do you know what? Frick you. I was going to see which Diogo you were.
No.
Quicksilver has been sent by someone to spy on Wanda, quite possibly Magneto or maybe Professor X. I think if he's been sent by someone, I reckon Doctor Strange fits. This is the first viable Doctor Strange thing. I could see us getting like a flashback to Strange going like, something's up. How do we get in? It's Wanda Maximoff. Who would she trust? Pietro. And then he looks at the hex and sees that it's linked to another universe. And he's like, well, this makes sense. And grabs the Pietro and brings him in.
I would like to see Magneto or Professor X, but I think the theory of Doctor Strange pulling someone from another straight makes more sense because of the next movie is called The Multiverse of Madness.
Right. And this seems
sense.
to be an obvious connection between two universes. Like, it seems like that I think we've got a link that works.
3 more hours.
Yeah, they're going to be 3 hours.
1 hour each of each episode. It's going to be amazing.
Before I finish Diogo's last section here, is it just me or you like excited for these episodes to come out? Like, I haven't been excited for something to come out in a fair while.
Yes, it's so. Maybe was it the drought that we had of MCU stuff? I don't know. Was it just we're bored at home doing nothing?
I'm not skipping the Marvel intro. You could. I can fast forward it. I'm on my PlayStation.
No,
I'm enjoying it.
I'm not even turning off the outro as well.
Yeah, I'm watching the whole thing.
It just goes all the way through. I want to see the cool little like 3-pixel things and whatnot. I'm just like, okay, cool.
Lastly, Diogo says, and Geraldine is actually the main hero. #, Milky Mummy. Take care, lads.
Interesting. Others are finding that out as well. Other people are seeing that too.
I mean, I was ahead of the game. We know that sometimes the curtains are just read, but a lot of the times the author has put them in. And it's not until you've finished the show or a few seasons of it and you come back and rewatch it that you realize, of course, big Milky Mummy MILF energy is the way to go.
Exactly.
Is clearly the main hero. I can't wait for our Captain Marvel appearance, and then I'll get to say confirmed. I told you so. I called it. I called it in February of 2021.
Diogo writes him.
Oh, okay.
Strange, he's a chat guy. He says, I can't be asked who's writing review, but we can all agree that Geraldine is a very spicy woman. I'd let her milk me. Oh, God.
The worst bit is I know exactly who this is.
Yeah, you don't need to look. You know who that is.
It's Diogo. Interestingly, Diogo has another comment, and he said, I actually hate all of you. All of you.
All of you.
Honestly, I thought this was the weakest episode so far. What?
Ooh.
I mean, we're going to ban all of the Diogos, so you're
Luckily, we're banning him as well. Yeah.
Still loved it, but not as much as the others. The stuff, in fairness, the weakest episode so far is still like a great episode.
I'll say the bar's really high, just a bit under.
I just wasn't expecting him to say it that way. The stuff that happened inside the Hex was really interesting, but in the Sword Base, I'm not a fan of the whole cliche of incompetent leader who's being undermined by the 3 quirky, competent friends. I was calling them the trio.
Yeah.
So yeah, that totally makes sense. Still, I think the episode almost confirms the multiverse theory. This is the X-Men Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, which is why he didn't have the accent and why he remembered Halloween differently to Wanda. Did he remember Halloween differently to Wanda?
Yeah, she did. She's like, that's not exactly how I remember it. But that's the thing. It's contradicting because he says he remembers being shot in the street.
Yeah.
but he remembers memories of Sokovia.
This is
that
the
isn't to do with
actor
them.
playing the brother that is Pietro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but then why is that memory different? And also, he's not from Sokovia in the X-Men universe, so why is he remembering? It's so strange. Everything is mixed up, and it's throwing me off. Stick to one track.
Yeah. So Diogo continues, I care a lot more about Vision now. He's one of my favorite characters, and I hope he survives this.
Hope so, but
I don't know how they're going to do it. I mean, dude, how can you take Bettany out of this universe? We finally got him like in multiple movies, multiple performances. I think what a lot of people don't realize is he's one of the strongest actors in the whole MCU.
Yeah,
and I'm talking like one of the, he's up there, right? Like RDJ and him are and Olsen. Oh, and who played Nebula? What's her name? I forget her name. You know her.
Yeah, is it Kieran Gallagher?
Something like that.
But I know what you mean.
Like
yeah.
those four are going to be my pick for best actors, right? So Bettany beats out all these. Not saying anybody isn't good, but just he's freaking brilliant. I want him in more stuff so badly.
Yeah.
So we all know the main character of the series is Jimmy Woo. False. Jimmy Woo is the sidekick to the main character, Monica Rambeau.
Jimmy Woo is so good, though.
He's so good. Did you go back and watch the scene where he learns?
I did.
It's sick, isn't it?
Oh my god, I didn't notice that before, but yeah, it was
because
great.
when I first saw it, I'm like, why do I know this guy? Why do I know this guy? And then he did the thing, and I was like, I placed him with the card trick. Yeah.
Diogo writes in, and he says, don't have much to say. That Evan Peters is such a good fit for Quicksilver, and my theory is that they're using the kids to introduce mutants into the MCU. Yeah. It's just that the kids aren't enough. It's not enough of an explanation because it's like, she manifested them. She's magic. That doesn't really say mutants to you, right?
Also, you're talking a few thousand people. Mutants are like an emerging problem for the world.
Yeah.
So in the X-Men, at least.
Problem. How racist are you? Mutants are just as much as people as you are, okay?
That's true. And in fairness, I am a bigot.
You are a bigot.
It's not mutants, it's suits.
It's suits, that's right.
And
I hate
I'm
suits.
out and proud. We're holding our first anti-suit rally.
Yes.
When lockdown's
Bring your
over.
Ubisoft signs along.
Right.
We haven't got that many. There's a lot of just chatter here, but then
Diogo says the Diogo above me is wrong. This episode was amazing. This had the best sitcom stuff. I actually agree.
Yeah.
The 2000s references were hilarious, and I love Pietro in this episode. This is also the first episode I like the kids. Yes,
they have a personality now, and instead of being annoying kids.
I actually preferred them as babies prior to this because you're like, oh, hey, what's going on? And she tries to magic them and it doesn't work. And then they spit their tummies out and it's like, okay, comic relief.
Yeah.
But up until this episode, I didn't like them. And also it turns out at least Wiccan can act.
I was going to say, one of the Diogos up here says, my theory is that they'll age up one more time to 15. I think they've picked these two characters very, very well. I think
agree.
they'll stay. But I only just thought about that because of Diogo's comment. So
Yeah.
don't worry about it, Diogo. It's not your fault. There's a lot of just chatter here, and I'm going to kick it over to Bucky the Blacksmith. He writes in and goes, what I'm currently wondering about with WandaVision after the newest episode is, who the frick or what the frick is Quicksilver? Because he's not the same Pietro Maximoff as in X-Men, and he doesn't seem to be wholly the Pietro from Ultron. It's so confusing, right? Yeah. Also, who do you guys think Monica's aerospace engineer friend is? After learning the backstory of Monica in the comments, I'm partially towards Reed Richards.
So I didn't
know about the comics.
This is actually my entire experience with Monica Rambeau. So I had no idea.
But now you're aficionado.
Reed Richards makes sense. I haven't looked into any Monica Rambeau lore, but Reed Richards makes sense being like freaking Marvel fans, right? He's the only other guy that we know has a big aerospace. It's how he gets his powers.
Yeah.
Also has his own tower.
Yeah.
You know, like he's our next best and very distant second best Stark, right? So it makes sense to me. I'm gonna say what I said before about this Pietro is it's the Pietro from that universe, and as he's come in, they do the mind wipe. Actor, you're the brother. This is the stuff that Pietro would remember, and then when Vision touches him, he's going to be like, "Oh no, I'm not thinking. How come this TV's flat? What the frick? What's that hand thing? Oh, it's a cell phone. What's a cell phone? We're in the year's 2021. What the frick? It's supposed to be 1970. Also a mutant. What's a mutant? Oh yeah, it's going to be that. Bucky, you're a man of fine and distinguished tastes. Don't let these Diogos weigh you down.
Yes.
keep your great name and great profile pic.
And our final comment, go on T.
Actually, Scorpion King V says, K.
Man of many words right there. Do you want to read the last one out?
Yeah. T says, I think it might be Reed. Yeah, I think it might be Reed. My first guess was the little skull from Cap, the little scroll from Cap.
Ah, okay. The one that can like change looks and stuff like that, from what was the main guy's name? He was the main guy.
This is the one of the few movies I haven't seen, but I know of these dudes. Yeah,
the main dude is a really good actor. He plays the main scary guy in Rogue One. The main bad
Rogue
guy.
One, what's that?
Your favorite movie? Your favorite Star Wars movie?
No.
Ben Mendelsohn. That's his name, right?
If you say so, I
think his name is Ben Mendelsohn. Yeah, but he plays.
I literally have deleted those movies from my mind. I'm already. I can feel my pulse going up. I'm triggered that you'd even mention
Ben Mendelsohn. It's definitely his name, and he's awesome. Yeah.
Let's see. He thought it was the main Skrull guy from Captain Marvel, but she said it's a guy. So I'm going to go with Reed. I think Quicksilver is the MCU one, but in another body or an illusion. Yeah, I think it's actually him. I could see this being our link to Strange. Strange grabs him from the universe they're linked to, pulls him in because it's the link to Wanda, and we'll get a flashback, and then it can be what is his name? Fucking Khan. Who's the guy?
The main bad guy?
No, the guy that plays Strange.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict Cumberbatch. That's it. I think this is our...
I thought you were saying Karthik, our guy from the show.
Oh, no.
Karthik's playing Doctor Strange? And he didn't tell us.
I think Benedict Cumberbatch could easily be the cameo, the big cameo, and that's our way in. We get a short flashback of what's going on. This is unknown magic. It's on a scale we haven't seen since Thanos was here. What the frick? It's linked to another universe. Let's have a look at the universe, because Strange has gone. He does the different timeline things all the time. And let's take a look. Okay, it's linked. Wanda Maximoff seems to be the center of this thing.
Yeah. I think he's definitely gone in there and taken some people out, so we can get at least some information and see what's going on here. Bro, that is the end of our episode right here.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another episode of StreamCast.
That's right. The flagship show. The FPN.
Exactly. You guys tune in every week for this. It's a sad fact that those Asborway guys don't do anything, and those 4 support beams are just really filler. But you guys get to have this every week. And
like usual, we keep the whole community propped up.
Exactly. And we're proud to do that. Our backs hurt, but we're proud to do it.
Yeah, they do ache a lot. If you want to support us and not the fucking losers, including the upside down cunt that is Tyler, you can head over to patreon.com/conversations for as little as $1 a month, and you get what we're going to shill. They said we can shill. We're shilling. Yes. Frick 'em. I hope they change their minds so we can keep doing the shilling. And
you said it now.
I feel bad if we're allowed to. As long as I said we're not, I'm totally down.
Then I'll do it.
For $1 a month, you get the Conversations podcast, totally exclusive, early access to the True Gamer podcast. Frick, we forgot to tell you what's on our channel. Gaming stuff. We do the True Gamer. We suck at this.
Well, you suck at this. Okay, I was also part of it, yeah. But yeah, the True Gamer podcast, our gaming podcast, happens every week. You can check that out as well. It's quite awesome. Yeah. Bro, thank you so much for joining me for another week. I'll see you next week for another episode of WandaVision. It's
actually next week already this week because of our work schedules.
Yes.
Didn't line up great.
We'll see you this week then. Catch you later, bro.
Awkward pause. Are we still?
I'm frozen.
Oh, you froze. Cool. I was like, oh god.